So here we have a set of quite a few interesting pieces, and I'd like to introduce maybe our latest baby, which we introduced this week in the market, which is our perpetual calendar Pioneer in steel. It's a limited edition, 50 pieces. For the first time, we have a perpetual calendar where we use a small window for the months. What's nice about the Moser perpetual calendar, if you don't know it, is that we have an instant date change forward and backward. Even the months, let's see, at the end of the month, see the jump. This is one of the most spectacular perpetual calendar. It has 10 days of power reserve, of course the manufactured movement. And again, this is a new movement because usually we have a small arrow at the center. Here we use a small window. Another very interesting piece, I think, is the Vanta Black Venture, which is something we introduced earlier this year. It's using the darkest material man-made on Earth. The black here absorbs 99.99% of the light. It's something spectacular. The eye has a hard time perceiving the dimension there, and I think it's for us a good way to kind of create new dials. We're known for the fumé dials with this gradient of color. Now we have a beautiful black dial, and we will continue to do beautiful things with that. Of course, with a beautiful Moser movement, hand wound, 3 days power reserve, power indication at the back. And this is a 39 millimeter, and you see the beautiful curves on this Venture model. Also in the Venture, something more, I would say, a little bit funky. This is Arctic Blue. This is a dial that actually was an accident. Blue is a very difficult color to manage, and sometimes it's darker, lighter, whatever. And if you look here, we have a few blues, they're all different. And this one came out very different from the others. We said, oh, yeah, we can't use it. And we looked at it and said, that could be actually very cool. And that's how we came up with the Venture Arctic Blue, and it's actually beautiful. And we brought the Moser green at the back, again with a beautiful hand-wound movement. It's in 43 millimeter. It's a beautiful piece that you can wear with jeans and short sleeves, but also with a suit. It's a strong statement. One thing that we introduced earlier in the year, just before the summer, is in our heritage collection. It's a beautiful tourbillon, with a funky blue dial. Moser is known for combining tradition and modernism or sexiness. I think here it's a watch that is inspired by watches you find in our museum from the early 20th century. The first converted watches, so pocket watches that we converted in strap watches. You have the beautiful wire lugs, a lot of structure on the side. It's a 42 millimeter Super Luminova. You can see here, even the numerals are 3-dimensional ceramic Luminova, which is a new technology that we just developed. It's very spectacular. And this is automatic. One last but not least is the Swiss Alp watch. Swiss Alp watch was a milestone in the history of Moser. I think a lot of people discovered our brand when, as a reaction to everybody asking us, are you going to create a connected watch, or do you think connected watches will destroy the Swiss watch industry? We created the Swiss Alp watch, inspired by the design of connected watches, but obviously fully mechanical. And this is one of the last series because we're running out slowly of the movements. And you see this beautiful rectangular movement here in DLC steel case with a beautiful black dial. So it's a strong statement. A lot of people would come to you and say, hey, are you really wearing a connected watch? I say, no, this is something special, limited to 30 pieces or 20 pieces. And something very special for us.